What is going on, y'all? Welcome to So I Did a Thing, where I have cool conversations with cool people who are doing cool things, and the chat is already popping. We've already got folks here. I hope Trevor can see that. He was asking if he'd be able to. Restream's been a little janky lately. They've been doing some weird stuff. So, yeah, let's say hi to a few folks. Raquel is in the house. What's going on? Enrique Cobb. I'm gonna have to ask you, like, how do you pronounce your name? Is it just Cobb? Cobb? I feel like I always mispronounce it. Sam Swirsky is in the house. He's been hanging out for about 15 minutes already. Who else did I see here? Val is here. What's going on, Val? Good to see you. What else? So this is the third to the last episode of So I Did a Thing. In 3 weeks, I'm bringing Ending the Stigma back. Same time. Hey, DJ. Same time, same day. It'll be Monday night at 7 Central. But I've been missing doing Ending the Stigma. Y'all remember when I was doing that with Nathan Winsen-Reed? I've just missed it because it's something that's near and dear to my heart, and I hadn't been doing it because it's a lot to live stream 2 shows a week, and I need to fix my camera because let's zoom out a little bit. Maybe it won't cover up so much of my head. Kolb. All right, man. Cool. So, what else? Go to the website, hitproductions.live, which coincidentally, the website creator or my website creator is also my guest tonight. So we're going to talk about that. Check it out. Sign up for my email list, which I'm terrible about sending out emails. So if you're worried about spam, don't, because I'm not super consistent with it. But I do drop some live streaming tips and tricks occasionally in your inbox. You can also get some merch while you're there, like this Be Weird hat that I'm wearing and this Hit Productions hoodie I have on. All kinds of other cool stuff in the store. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring out the funny man himself. Maybe he'll say some funny crap. Maybe he won't. He said his mom writes his content. I don't see his mom there. Maybe she's off camera whispering in his ear. I don't know, but here is Trevor Hansen. What's up, dude?
What I'm just happy to be alive. I always feel like these streaming things go great for everybody but me. So anyone who is attending, it's gonna be great. For the person behind the camera, maybe not so much.
So we were having technical difficulties backstage. He joined the stream, but all I saw was a black box. He could see me and hear me, but I couldn't see him. Like it was so weird.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
That's
this is how tonight's gonna
this background the best. So
yeah, this is how tonight is gonna go.
Right.
Yeah, the great one. So how you been, man?
Good. So I'll take a minute and introduce myself, because I don't know how many people know me. I'm sure it's a very small amount. But a slight background: if you want to see something cringe, go back and watch Chris's first live stream. I watched it and lasted about 4 minutes, and I'm like, bro, I can't believe you kept this.
It was so bad.
Yeah. And so like, I mean, it's probably the purest form of having to start somewhere, right? Because
for real.
I really wish I could remember how we met. I don't know if it was just a simple connection request or someone
Yeah, no, I remember exactly, because I was brand new here, didn't know anything about LinkedIn, never been on social media before. This was my first social media platform, and I don't even know how you showed up in my feed. Like, I don't even know how LinkedIn decides who shows up in your feed for the very first time. But I went back and counted, and you were in the 30s as far as the order of people I connected with. So you're like in the first 30 something, you were one of the first. And you actually sent me a connection request. I remember, because I was like, dude, this dude is funny. You know, he talks about God. Like, and so I was liking and commenting, and like I was sharing, because I thought sharing was what you were supposed to do on LinkedIn, right?
Right.
Yeah, don't share posts, y'all. But and you sent me a connection request, and I was like, well, this big time dude is like, he sent me a connection request. I remember thinking that. And then we just got to chatting, and that's how it happened, you know?
Yeah, and I think at the time I was paying for LinkedIn, because I had gone through. I don't know. I feel like a lot of our connections kind of were with the same people originally. I can't remember Casey's last name, but Casey was with some payment group and had encouraged people to sign up for LinkedIn. And so like, that's what I did. I signed up for the service, actually paid LinkedIn for membership for a hot minute. And what I was doing was working. I mean, I think when I started 2 years ago, really getting engaged on LinkedIn, I think I had maybe 300 to 500 connections, and they were legit people I knew in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of took a more serious route, wanting to connect more with other people. So I paid for the service and really just started going to town, adding people that were interacting with my content. I was trying to pay attention to people's content as well. And I'm sure you probably made a comment where I was like, okay, this guy's kind of funny too, and I think that's why I sent that connection request. And then just being able to build on commonalities. I think, just like you said, the fact that there were things that we like to laugh about. We both have a relationship with God, and not afraid to talk about those things that make us vulnerable. And,
right.
And so I think there's a lot of preconceived notions that happen on LinkedIn that people kind of expect. There's things you can and can't do, but anytime I talk about people being vulnerable, really, I think it's just truly being yourself, but also being true to yourself. And so, I would hope, and I don't know, maybe Sam can even comment here, that I hope people see the same me online as they do in real person. Just because I've met far too many people that are fake about, life, or wanting to put on a persona of what they think life should be and put that online. For me, I don't know. It was always a downer to meet someone online, and then you meet him in person. You're like, you're kind of a stick in the mud. like, what am I doing at dinner here? You set this meeting up. Talk to me. Like, I don't know what to talk about. And so, so I think that's probably where it started. And, and honestly, I genuinely feel like if I were ever down in your area, I could call you up and say, hey, Chris, I need something, or it wouldn't be awkward. That's the big thing. It wouldn't be awkward.
Yeah. And anyway. One of these days, like, I'm going to get to Utah. Like, I got to get out there, dude. Like, I've got a list. I've got a LinkedIn tour I want to make. Unfortunately, that involves time off of work and money.
Right.
So it's going to be a slow process. But like, in 2 weeks, I'm going to Memphis for the LinkedIn meetup. Eventually, I'll head out west and like go hit Colorado where Nathan lives, hit Utah where you live. I might make it up to, I was going to hit Vegas and go see Brittany Linhart, but she moved all the way to like Washington State. So that's a lot farther. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's going to happen though.
We should start building a map of people that we want to meet. And then what you can do is just like, this sounds crazy, not doable, but the concept, right?
That's so how it starts. Here, hold my beer.
Right.
Let's do this.
So like you would pass the RV. So you would go and rent like an RV America, right? And you just drive it to one location, you meet people, and then they take the RV and they go meet the next person. Like, so you would have to travel back to where you came from. But
right.
I mean, but the trick would be how many miles can we put on this RV before it gets back to the location?
Yeah,
right?
You come back looking like something off of Breaking Bad. We'd have so many miles off on it.
No joke. Whose is this? Not mine.
Yeah, it's definitely not mine. Yeah, I don't know what that weird smell is.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Sam's done a great job of putting some events together, and I've toyed with the idea of putting some events together. But I truly believe that LinkedIn is just the mecca for the opportunity to get to know people and meet people. And that's what I'm grateful for. I've met some really great people, and I've kind of fallen off the radar recently because 6 months ago I was promoted to be the marketing director up at Hill Air Force Base. So my full-time job I'm a marketing director on a military installation, and I oversee all the marketing efforts internally. So, in a nutshell, Hill Air Force Base is like a city. We have our own zip code, but we have different activities and businesses up there. So literally my department is like operating a real business inside the government. So the funds that we spend and what we do are 100% from revenue generated within the government and the facilities. So we don't use taxpayer dollars. We any money that we make in the business, we get to spend on the business.
Nice.
So there's some interesting moving parts. And so being the marketing director, I do marketing for a bowling center, for a golf course, for outdoor recreation, for our child and youth center, for our library. So we have like these businesses that operate on the base, and our job as the marketing department is to do the marketing for all of these businesses. So we're kind of like an internal ad agency inside the government, inside this business. And so when I stepped in the interim to become the marketing director, we had a new person starting. The same person who was training was leaving. And then I'm trying to learn my new job and then also fill in 2 different jobs that are in our office. One of them I really don't have to do because another employee of mine is phenomenal at what she does. So she's been able to just pick up the reins and just run with that. So I'm literally trying to learn 2 different jobs at the same time while managing the office and facilitating everything that needs to be done. So
no pressure.
So if you think I have some downtime, I don't. But
and yet you found an hour to hang out with me, and I appreciate that.
And honestly, here's the thing: like I've learned that as I get older, I want to be more deliberate with my time, right? So it's less about what I'm doing and more about who I'm talking to and where I'm spending my time. And so when you reached out to me, I will tell most people, if you want to get on my calendar, plan out 2 to 3 months, because that gives me enough time to plan ahead. It's the people who I find out about things 3 days in advance, and I'm like, well, I won't be able to make that because I already have a full schedule. So for me, I'm willing to make time. And I will tell anybody, everybody has the same amount of time. Y'all just suck at prioritizing. Like that's what it comes down to. So when you reached out to me, I was like, absolutely, this is something I want to do because it's a priority. I appreciate our friendship, and and for me, like I feel like I can go dark for a little bit, and which I do appreciate that you've reached out to me. But that's a nice thing. We can have 1 to 2 sentences every couple of months and check in with each other, and that's pretty phenomenal. So it is. That's where I thrive. I may be in the dark sometimes, but it's the small moments that we just connect and make it happen. So to answer Maria's question, everything I do is in Utah, and everything I deal with is not classified. It's all public. Yeah. So,
what I thought was pretty cool about what you do, though, is so it's not just like you're marketing for a bowling alley or just for a golf course. Like you've got to figure out how to market a plethora of things.
Right.
And make them all good.
Yeah. So it's interesting for sure, but it's I have a newfound love for individuals in the Air Force and those in the armed forces. My father-in-law is a retired CB chief, and so it's interesting to hear some of his stories. But man, the people who enlist it's not for the faint of heart. They do some hard work, and it's always directly tied to taking care of us civilians. It's not always noticeable, but when it is, it's interesting to see how those pieces fit together.
Yeah, I bet. And you're getting a firsthand view of a lot of it being on base all the time.
Right.
So tell us about your side gig. Well, hang on just a second. Hang on.
Sure.
Gabe Leal is in the house. He came out of hiding to say hi. I appreciate that. What's going on, man? It's good to see you. Gabe was one of my mentors when I decided to get into producing live streams. Him and DJ Durante,
Nice.
both of them. Yeah, I just hammered them with questions. So yeah, quick shout out to Gabe. All right.
That's awesome. Yeah. So as far as my side gigs, I kind of moonlight a lot of the same things. So before I became a marketing director, I was a digital media specialist. So I took care of our website up on base. I did a lot of photography, a lot of videography, filled in for the graphic designer when she was out. So yeah, so I just kind of had my hands in multiple things that dealt with digital media, and was fortunate enough to land in the marketing director position. So now I'm doing more admin stuff and not much of the fun stuff that I love to do. So my side business comes in super handy. So that business is it's called TCH Digital Media and Marketing, and so I do websites, and I do everything related to the website. So if you need a URL, I can purchase the URL. If you need hosting, I include the hosting in my pricing. I build the website, and I don't charge an exuberant amount up front. I break it out, over the course of 12 months, and my hope is to create partnerships and relationships with people who use my services, because then I'm kind of like a web admin on their team for cheaper than it costs to hire a part-time employee.
Yeah.
And so I try to educate my clients depending on how interested they are. And some clients are like, I don't want to touch anything with the website. You just take care of it. And then there's others that really want to learn the nitty-gritty stuff about it. And so if I can maintain relationships, I do. But if someone gets to a point where they feel like they're capable of taking on the website and want to do all the things, I'll certainly hand the reins over. So, but my biggest goal is making sure that I'm fulfilling a need within someone's business, and making sure that we're always a great fit. So I do websites. The nice thing about that is there are a lot of companies that will hold your digital assets hostage, right? So if they purchase your URL and build your website, a lot of times they'll say, well, we actually own those, so good luck. And now you have to restart your brand. And so for me, I don't hold anything hostage. I know what it's like running a business and how hard it can be. And if a vendor's not working out, the last thing I want is to be a reason for someone to speak poorly about anybody. And so, that's what I do. And I've had some clients that have utilized my service just to get their website built, and then they migrate it to something more fitting. And I've been able to build some really good relationships that way. So for me, it's not about longevity all the time. Ultimately, I just want to help people get where they need to go. And with that focus, it's alleviated a lot of heartache and pain on both sides. So websites is one thing. I do some online marketing, doing not social media, SEO, which is search engine optimization. So helping websites get better ranked on search engines, which is great. And then occasionally I have the project come through doing video editing, or the like. And yeah, it just kind of depends. So I still dabble in a lot of digital media stuff. Don't do it as much as I would like to, but as of right now, the focus in my life, being able to learn a new job and take care of my people, is kind of where my focus has been. So I've been focusing on 6 people in real life over all the people on LinkedIn, which I'm sorry, but not sorry.
Right.
Yeah. So
they kind of have a priority, I would think.
Right. I mean, if y'all were paying my paycheck, that would be different,
Right.
But until then, I'm stuck. I literally am stuck working for the man.
Literally.
So, but it's good. I feel like I'm happy. I'm in a good place.
That's awesome.
There are things that I'm going through, and that my family's going through, that have been pretty arduous, and I don't want to get into any details, but it would be enough to make somebody really sad, and at this point, I'm more focused on just controlling what I can control, and that's been a big blessing for me.
That's what's up. Heck yeah. And y'all, I can attest like to the way Trevor does his websites because he did my website. He hosts it for me. He gave me the. I mean, kind of the deal was I wanted to kind of learn how to do it. So if I needed to go in and edit something or throw an updated price package in there to download or whatever, I didn't have to hound him all the time. I don't have to do anything very often though. So on the very rare occasion I do, I still have to message him and be like, "How do I do this again?" Um, he's always so gracious, takes the time, hop on a Zoom with me, show me how to do it real quick, or explain it to me in an email or whatever. And it was so seamless, really. Like I was like, "Look, I'm going to do. Like I don't even know what I want, but here are my colors and here's my logo." And he that's really all I had. Like and I got with Michelle Hironaka. She was my copywriter, and she did all the copywriting. And then so I decided to go from a multi-page site to a single-page site. And I was like, "Bro, is that going to be hard to change over?" And he was like, "No, not at all." And like the next day, it was changed over. We got it all together. He got it all up. He did some really creative stuff with it, made it really easy, made it look bomb, y'all. Like if you hadn't gone and looked at it, you need to go look at it. Just the way he did it, it's very visually appealing. Like I'll go to it sometimes just to look at it because it's so pretty.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
But for real, it does. Like everybody, whenever we were first or whenever he was first building it, and I'd send the link to somebody and be like, "Hey, check this out," and they were just like astounded at how good it looked. And I was very happy to say, no, I did not do that. I could not have done that. That was my boy Trevor. So,
yeah, no, and it's always fun, when I have a chance to build a website. It's fun to talk to people and just kind of educate them about the process. And it also becomes very clear if I want to work with them or not, because depending on how much they want to be a part of the process. Sometimes it can be challenging, and other times I have to pump the brakes a little bit and say, "Hey, I truly do." And hopefully sometimes, Val, you're so sweet. Sometimes,
yeah, isn't she?
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do have to pump the brakes a little bit, but I tell every single one of my clients, I truly want to be a team player. And so I'm willing to share information. I'm willing to give feedback, but ultimately I want to give just a different perspective, because a lot of clients I have, I'm completely out of their industry. And so when they say, "Hey, can we do this?" I always say yes, but, and then I try to educate the client. And sometimes it stops them in their tracks and they say, "Oh, I didn't realize that." And then there's others like, no, we've had this problem and this is why we're doing it, so we can solve this problem. And so I always do the best I can to be a team player, and ultimately the client has the last say. But there are times where I've had to pull the plug and say, this is not working for me, because ultimately people will say, "Hey, what about this website?" And they go and look at it and it's just terrible. And they're like, "Did you build that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And so for me, everything I do, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than I'd like, but ultimately I want to be able to have every piece of digital media I touch be portfolio worthy. And so, sometimes it does take a little bit longer, but Amy, we like Amy. She's pretty awesome. When you read "Hey, Amy, hey friend," I almost read that as "Hey fraud," and I was like, "Oh boy,
No.
Take it as a good sport," but I was like, "Whoa."
No, "Hey Fran," that's that Southern pronunciation,
right?
Hey Fran,
Hey Fran,
yeah.
Yeah. So kind of in a nutshell, that's what I've been up to, and that's what I've been doing. I'm not ready to announce something, but I have been working on something for the last couple of months that I'm pretty stoked to announce. So if you look at my LinkedIn profile, you'll notice that I think right now I put that I pioneered the LinkedIn laugh emoji. Yeah.
Let me look at it.
And then I have a coming soon announcement that
I feel like you've had a coming soon announcement for a while though.
Yes. And
for like a long while.
Yeah. So the first time I did that worked out well. I had a lot of people asking, and I had some phenomenal momentum on LinkedIn at the time, and Of course, my engagement has taken a nosedive. Right, it's down in the toilet because I haven't been able to spend as much time on LinkedIn. So I put the coming soon on there, and I was expecting it to be about this long, and then something happened in life, and that coming soon just went like this.
Yeah.
And now it's like, so there's stuff that's bigger that's happening in the middle here, but I do have a goal to have that announcement come out around June if it works out.
Okay.
So I'm pretty stoked about it. It's something I have spent a lot of time on and a lot of thinking about. And anyway, so I know it's like a huge.
I know, like you're creating this mass FOMO now, like.
and I okay, so I have to say this confidently, and I truly hope it doesn't come off as cocky, but it truly is something that I have felt like I needed to do for a long time, but didn't feel like I had the capability to do it. And now that I have more insight into myself and certain areas of my life, I felt like I just needed to bite the bullet. And so, so, I plan to build a little bit of suspense around it. And so maybe we could schedule another one of these and make the huge announcement on here, which I think could be a lot of fun. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So in all honesty, that coming soon has been on my profile for a lot longer than I would have liked it to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I gotta be honest with myself, and I gotta have a little bit of grace for myself. And
sure.
So, so that's why it's still on there, and I'm working towards something big, but it's big for me. It may not be big for anybody else, but
well, you know what though, but that's what, even if it's not big for anybody else, we're going to celebrate it with you because it's big to you.
Right.
Like I always say, and Amy's one of the people that does it with me, is have friends that'll celebrate your smallest wins like they're big.
Absolutely.
Like whenever I have little wins, I'm talking about little wins. I'm in Amy's DMs. Hey, check this out. And she's like, woo! She's cheered me on just like it's the biggest thing in the world. You got to have people like that in your corner.
Totally. And it's funny you say that because and Gabe, I'm sorry we haven't officially met, but if I can create any FOMO, I will. But not really.
Clickbait magic, man.
Marketing, right? That's my job. Clickbait everywhere. And there was an interesting video. I can't remember who it was by. I know he's got a really decent following on YouTube. But he was talking to somebody, and this advice was so profound. He said, the easiest way to learn if someone is toxic or not is to share good news with them and then watch for their reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And if they truly are excited for you, those are the people you need to keep in your corner.
Yeah.
But if they start poking holes in it, or they find what's wrong with it, then those are the people you need to slowly start peeling away out of your life. Mm-hmm. Because people who are genuinely happy for you are just happy people. And those are the people that you want in your life, And so, and at the same time, I recently took a class that was a 2-day training about the outward mindset. And if at any time you ever have a chance to attend a class that's put on by the Arbinger Institute about the outward mindset, I would highly encourage it, because there were things that I took that class and I had read the book. They've got a full book on it, actually. Yeah. So this book right here, The Outward Mindset, I had read this book and I thought, man, this is pretty phenomenal. And they talk about some certain things in here that you can apply to your life. But then I took the training and I was like, man, do I have some personal things that I need to work on. And I always thought I was in a good place and doing the right thing. And I learned some things about myself that were pretty eye-opening. And so those are just some of the things that I've experienced. But one of those big things is I try to surround myself with really good, happy, exciting people. And I try to be that cheerleader. I'm not super great at that. The relationship with me and my wife, I always tell people it's like a teeter-totter. Like
Mm-hmm.
She sits on the ends, you know, so when she gets excited, she gets super excited. And when she gets bummed, she gets super bummed. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm like the kid who sits in the middle and holds the bar, right? So my body just does this, and that's as far
Mm-hmm.
as I go. Like I don't get super happy and I don't get super sad. And I'm trying to adjust that more. You know, I came from a big family. I don't know how many people know this, but I have 7 siblings. So I came from a big family. And so when we had opportunities to celebrate, it was more about being in competition with each other than it was
Mm-hmm.
celebrating with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we have grown, um, we have uh, we have grown together as siblings, and so now it's more about supporting each other than it is about who's got the better business or the
Right.
better life. Yeah, it's interesting. And so but you know, I mean, you can I love being surrounded by good people, and I think that's
Yeah.
why I've had such good success on LinkedIn, is because I'm able to pick out people, and people can see that in me as well. And but it's come with its challenges. You know, occasionally we have the toxic person come in. You know, I've been called out numerous times that I'm not super funny, and there are bosses that were like, if I were to say this as the owner of the company, no one would laugh. And I'm like, well, with that attitude, of course, no one's going to laugh.
Right.
You have some expectation in your head that you're hoping people meet, but yeah, Sam, I wouldn't be surprised if we are related somehow.
I've got 6 siblings, so I'm close to y'all.
Where do you fall in? What number are you?
Oh, I'm number one.
Are you're the oldest?
Yeah, I am the oldest, and my youngest brother. So I'm 42. My youngest brother is 25. He'll be 25
How did I not
this
know this
year.
about
I don't know. I could have swore we've talked about it.
you? Right? Yeah, I didn't know you were the oldest. So I'm third. I'm third of 8. I have 2 older
Okay.
sisters, and then 4 younger sisters, and then my little brother's the baby. And yeah, my man, don't judge me, but my parents had 8 kids in 11 years. So it was
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty close. Pretty, but
That's
this
crazy.
is a borderline a little bit. But I remember seeing a meme online that oh, how did it go? I'm sure I'm gonna botch it, but it was like my little brother went and asked my parents what they did for fun growing up, and they said, I don't know. I'm gonna go ask my 27 brothers and sisters. Like,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
yeah. So, but it's good. You know, life is good. I don't know. Maybe we can do a little bit of Q&A. I don't know that
Yeah,
people have, you know, many questions, or I can tell you one thing I am full of, and that's crap. So,
for real.
you know,
Yep.
if people have questions, I'm more than happy to answer just about anything.
Just about
Yeah,
anything.
there are some things that
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what NSA or FBI is watching this, so I have to be careful what I say. But you know, pick my
Right.
battles.
Right. So let's talk about, while we're waiting on some questions, let's talk about the laughing emoji on LinkedIn. Like, I don't know if anybody was before our little group, and really like you and Jacob Schwer was right in there with you. Um, like we were posting, you were tagging the CEO, whatever his name is, not Roslansky, but the new guy, or was
Um,
it Ryan Roslansky?
I'm pretty
I
sure it
don't
was
know.
Ryan, because I think Ryan came in. He came in right after I started getting really active on. No, that's a lie. Before, because I did tag Jeff a couple of times when
Mm-hmm.
Jeff was the CEO, because I saw that he would reply to people, and like legit, no joke. The first time I saw him reply to a comment, he had tagged a couple of his developers in LinkedIn. And because someone said, I am tired of my messages constantly having to take up space on the right side. He said it would be nice if we could just compress it down and then open it when we need to. And 3 weeks, 3 weeks later. That's why LinkedIn has that ability, is because someone said it would
No
increase.
kidding.
Yeah. And so he was very active in listening to people. And so for me, I was like, man, to have a CEO of something like LinkedIn listening to people was just amazing to me. And so I tagged him a couple times, and of course didn't get any response. And I think it was because he was transitioning out of the role. And I'm like, I'm going to put this new CEO to the test, Ryan. We'll see how you're doing. And so
he failed miserably.
Yeah, I had tagged him numerous times, and I'm sure some of those probably weren't presented in the kindest way.
Right.
Because I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm just here to laugh on LinkedIn. And he's probably like, hey, this isn't Facebook.
Yeah, he is probably, well, yeah, he's probably one of those people.
Right. And so, we really didn't get any traction. But when I started on LinkedIn, I had taken a personality test, and one of my core abilities or skills or talents or whatever is humor, and I use humor a lot to ease contentious situations, to bring levity to situations, present things in different ways. And so I saw this big gaping hole on LinkedIn that, like, I try not to use absolutes, but I truly felt like everybody was afraid to be funny on LinkedIn. All the content was serious, and it was businesses trying to share their products, and people only willing to share what their company would be okay reading. And it was just a very formal. It was a very, very, very formal platform. And I feel like it's shifting and has made the ability for people to be informal but serious when needed. And so I said, I'm going to give a shot at being funny, and people started taking a likeness to it, and I was building some great traction, and then got a new job and stopped. And it's kind of one of those things where I don't necessarily regret taking a break from LinkedIn, but I probably could have balanced more. I could have stayed on and did a little bit more and not completely go silent. But at the same time, like, my priorities are huge, and my biggest priority is my family, taking care of my family. So if there's anything that's going to distract from that, I had to make the decision.
Yeah. And I'm just so glad, like, you kind of disappeared for a little bit. We were checking on you. You didn't answer. It was fine. We just figured you were, taking a break. But I'm still so glad you didn't do a out of the office post. Hey, I'm taking a break.
Right.
Man, look who showed up.
Oh, Jacob.
So
yeah,
you, Jacob, and Amy, and I don't even remember who all else. I'd have to go back and watch it again. We're all on the original live stream. Yep.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Jacob was coming to us from his refrigerator. I thought he was going to leave us in there. Remember, he put his phone down while he was looking for snacks.
That does not surprise me. Yeah, and so it was interesting. I do. I mean, I take a little bit of credit for introducing the laughing emoji on LinkedIn.
Of course.
But there were some really big key people that really took the initiative. I think Michelle Griffin. I think she helped create the group that kind of helped build some momentum. Who is the other one? She would die if she knew that I forgot her name. She loves tacos. Not
Aaron
Michelle.
Westrich.
Aaron. Aaron was a very big proponent of helping get that going too. And so I certainly don't want to take all the credit. There were a lot of moving pieces, and some people really got some movement. And I mean, I was just as surprised as anyone else. And I was like, it's on.
It happened.
And so for me, at the same time, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely honest here. So at some point, the vanity of LinkedIn got to me, right? And I was like, okay, let's see how big we can grow the number of followers. And just after just after the laughing emoji came alive, I was like, oh, I just killed my momentum, because people would engage. They would comment on my content. And they'd be like, oh, they're so funny. You know, I wish there was a laughing emoji. And now that there is one, it's like, click, laugh, done. And I'm like, oh, so I'm not getting engagement anymore. Anyway, so it was a little bit of an ego check, you know. I had always hoped to keep a momentum of my followers, and at the same time, I was like, well, you know, it's for the better of the community, and so I'm hoping anyone who comes back that has not been here since the laughing emoji, I hope just one person looks at that and be like, I can laugh at stuff now, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, it's it's a journey for sure. I truly wish I would have documented more along the way.
Yeah.
That would
Right.
have been fun, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well, Aaron Westrich disappeared over a year ago and has not been seen since.
really?
Yeah. Like I've it's been several months. I have her phone number and I'll text her every once in a while.
So
But
she
yeah,
still is alive.
she's, as far as we know,
Okay.
I don't know if she even knows about the LinkedIn meetup in Memphis, which is where she's from. I should probably text her and be like, hey, yo, like, we're going to be in your town.
Totally.
You should come say hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fun fact about Erin, she's like 6'3".
Is she?
Yeah, she's freaking tall. Yeah. She was yeah. All streaming matters. All streaming is not created equal, Melissa.
Right.
I will fight you on that. I was in a discussion with her about audio versus video streaming earlier. She likes the audio rooms and I like live streaming on video. So we were in a heated debate earlier. So that's what that's all about.
Yeah, Sam, I never met Daisy. I don't know who.
I don't think I know her either.
Who Daisy is.
Yeah, I'm not sure I do. So we're like at time, dude. That went by really quick. You get some guests on and you're like, oh my God, are we ever going to make it to, gang's all here for real. Like this is the old crew.
If you have 5 minutes, I say, let's do some rapid questions.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I got time.
I'm good
rapid
on time.
Questions. 1, 2, 3, go. Of course, there's like a 15 or 20 second delay. So
right. That's right. I'll sit here and wait.
Yeah, I know, right? So while we're waiting on rapid fire questions, next week I have, it's going to be like LinkedIn After Dark, hashtag LinkedIn After Dark, hashtag 18 and older, hashtag adults only. My guest next week is a sex coach. So, lock your kids up, whatever. I mean, it's not going to get graphic. We're not going to get crazy with it, y'all. I'm just kind of being funny, but, yeah, Aaron, I know. See how much of the delay there is? She's just now saying Aaron. All right, so Sam has a question. Do you see stand-up comedy in your future?
Honestly, okay. I'm all about transparency and honesty. If I could get my wife to write my content for stand-up, I'd give a shot at it. I don't know if it was, I don't know. Maybe I haven't said anything. So my wife wrote a couple of books, and
oh wow, I didn't know that.
And nice. She is a phenomenal writer. She's written 2 books. One is called Peas Are Gross, and it's just satire about life. And like if you need a really good laugh, go onto Amazon and search out Peas Are Gross by Carly Hansen. And it's just such a good book. It'll make you laugh. And anyway, so if you read that, you'll have an idea of how capable she is of writing. And then she's also battled with anxiety and intrusive thinking. And so she wrote a book about a memoir of her dealing with that. And it's super raw and emotional. And Anyway, so she's got a really good knack for writing, and so if she were to write my content, yeah, I would totally do stand up, but I don't think I could do it on my own.
All right, we've got some questions, so let's roll through them. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Favorite flavor of ice cream? I'm not simple, but I'm a purist as well. So anything that's like caramel, like I mean, I would eat vanilla, but if I had my choice, it'd be something with caramel or chocolate in it. But being
Chocolate
a
for
purist,
sure.
I don't think nuts belong in ice cream, just like nuts don't belong in bread. So as long as there's nothing in it, I'm good.
Okay. If you could meet any Linky, who would it be?
Oh, y'all,
I
that's tough.
know.
Um, you know, I mean, because I'm on your show, I'd say Chris, but for me, it's not about the person. It would be about the community. I would love to just be in a room with all of us, catching up or being able to do 10-minute presentations on whatever. I That would it be more about community than a certain person. That would be me for sure.
Who is Trevor?
Jacob, if you don't know by now, boy,
I know.
I'm gonna send you.
Who
Oh,
is
I was
Trevor's least
answering like
favorite?
Jeopardy. Yeah.
Yeah, who is Trevor's least favorite sibling?
Um, you know
He's
when I
trying to
said
get you
I
in
was,
trouble.
when I would say I almost would answer everything, Jacob. That's it's not exactly a soup question.
Yeah. Who is your favorite live streamer on LinkedIn? No pressure.
Yeah, there's no competition right now. It's Chris for sure.
I know, right? Gabe's been gone. DJ's been gone, but she's coming back. She's back. I'm going to be a guest on her show. That's the one thing we can talk about. I'll be a guest on DJ's show, streaming live stream cubed. Is that what it's called, DJ? Tomorrow at 12:30 Central Standard Time.
I mean, so apparently I need to learn more about DJ and more about Gabe for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Chris?
Um, he
Oh man, there's a long pause. I hope this next question there's even an even longer pause.
Yeah, I mean, out of all honesty, I truly feel like I can have very real conversations with Chris, and for me that's huge.
Yeah,
I truly feel like even though we've never met in person, I feel like we really are friends.
yeah, for real. I love it. Right back at you. What's your least favorite thing about Chris?
Um, I may be blinded, but I really don't see anything that I don't like about Chris. The fact that if we ever had a disagreement, I feel like we could truly talk about it and hash it out,
Yeah,
and to me uh, that's just what's neat about having a friendship like that.
right on, for real. Orange juice with pulp or without?
It depends. If it's fresh squeezed, with. If it's not fresh squeezed, without.
Who would play you in a movie?
Ryan Reynolds for sure.
Yes.
Or I mean, if we're doing Dead or Alive, I'm sure Chris Farley would fill in my role really well.
Chris Farley, yeah, or Jack Black.
Right. I hope to meet Jack Black one day. I think that would be unreal.
That would be pretty cool. What is your favorite type of lotion? Sometimes did you say almost anything?
Almost.
Pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple on pizza. If you don't put pineapple on pizza, you're a communist. I'm just gonna leave
Oh
it
my gosh. Would you slap Chris for $75?
Absolutely not.
Gabe said he'd do it for 50.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So earlier I missed it. I didn't get to it. Jacob said something about, does your wife write all your funny content? And Amy said she's feeding him all his funny zingers through a wire right now.
Right. Yeah. She yeah. She does. She's more on Instagram. I'm not. And so, but one of our favorite pastimes in the evening is pulling up funny content that we've come across, and that's always fun.
Yeah. Chris is single. Chris is talking to someone, but Chris is single as of right now. White or wheat?
Wheat.
Well, the comments are coming fast. Denver, I will not be there. I'm not going to be able to make it. I have very limited days off, and I have to be careful where I take them and how I take them. And there are some fishing trips to the coast in my future that I'm going to need to work in. Yeah, Memphis. All right, so let's talk about that for a minute before we go, because I really do. I'm fixing that to go. Memphis, the 25th at the Peabody Hotel. The deadline to reserve a room there, I think, is coming up on Wednesday. Amy Wills and Kat Franz have put together all kinds of cool stuff. It's going to be a networking event like Tennessee has never seen, and probably the eastern half of the United States. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be there. Amy's going to be there. Kat's going to be there. I don't even know who all else is going to be there. Eric Mellenbeck, Chastity Alexander. I don't even remember who all is going to be there. It's going to be awesome. So doesn't cost anything. All you got to do is get your own hotel. So if you're interested and you want to know more about it, DM Amy. Amy will tell you. I'm excited. I'm excited about it because this will be the first LinkedIn networking event I've gone to. So I'm super stoked.
And I would even put in a small plug. If there isn't something around you, start something. Sam has kind of done that here locally, and if you want to meet more people on LinkedIn, just plan something and get something going, because it'll slowly mature into something.
Yeah, for sure. And look at what what's his name? Paul Shin did.
Yep.
Paul Shin did with the taco thing.
Yep.
He grew that into something huge quick.
Yeah. So it's good.
Jacob, what are you asking, dude? Like I said, we're talking. We're just talking. I haven't even hit it yet. So not that it's any of your damn business here on a live stream.
I think Jacob
all right.
disciplines.
I know it. Yeah, I know it, Jacob.
And I'm gonna leave it
Where's
at that.
Alicia? Yeah, Alicia, come get your man.
Right.
He's out of control.
No,
all right,
quick,
guys.
I want to say thank you for everyone who has come, and especially for Chris having me on there. I'm always grateful for the times we're able to catch up. So thank you for having me.
Me too. I was glad to be able to do it. It's been a while.
It has.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here tomorrow, 12:30 Central Time. I'll be live on DJ's show to be talking about how live streaming has impacted my business, and it is my business, so it's had a huge impact on it. And then next week we have sex coach Heather Tucker, where we'll be digging into all kinds of spicy stuff. Hopefully we don't get banned or somebody doesn't get their feelings hurt and reports us. So anyway, I think that's it. Trevor, thanks again for being here. Thank you everybody in the comments that showed up. Y'all are the ones that make it fun. I could have a great conversation with Trevor, but the comments keep it lit, especially when you got people like Jacob and Gabe who are talking cat smack about whatever in there.
Right.
Just throwing everybody off. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Take care.